Denise and her family have believed for years that they know who took Christopher.
Yes.
Even though we had family friends over, he was the center of attention like he had been. He was our baby brother. She intuitively knew he's not in his crib, like he's not here.
This is the home where Christopher Abeyta disappeared from.
This is where the crib was.
Here?
The crib was right here. Right here.
You think it was more of a personal abduction?
Take big cojones, come in here in the middle of somebody's house.
It was Detective Reisler. He asked my dad, is there anybody new in your life? That was the revelation. My dad looked at him and my mom there and he goes, you're gonna find out anyhow. There's a woman that I had a thing with, and he gave them Emma Bradshaw's name.
For whatever reason, he came back. And that is the night that Christopher disappeared.
He had not planned on spending the night. My dad called his secretary in Pueblo.
If somebody were to be in Pueblo and then travel to Springs to potentially abduct a child and then to make it back by 5 a.m.
Yes. Has law enforcement ever named a suspect in this?
They have named a person of interest.
And who's that?
Emma Bradshaw.
Hey everyone, I'm Crystal. I was a TV news reporter and anchor for more than 15 years, covering stories of remarkable people, tragedies that turned into heartbreak, and stories that are now part of history. But there are some stories that just stick with you.
How many missing persons cases do you believe you have?
Every year, tens of thousands of people are listed as missing. So I called in the expertise of my longtime friend, retired detective, now private investigator Lewis.
I really don't believe that. There's no evidence behind it.
Together, we're diving into cases that sit untouched for years.
I feel they focus too much on him,
I think so.
and it may not have been him the whole time.
And hitting the road.
Farmington, here we come.
Along the way, we'll talk to those left behind.
She was wonderful. She was my older sister.
Something feels missing.
Just went home.
Something's not right.
And to those who were part of the investigation.
I mean, the same dog found burnt remains.
All in hopes of uncovering new details.
He has never been interviewed by police.
That's the person that I think did it.
To give families some closure as we go beyond the case.
Okay, and I go all the way to K.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Case. I'm Crystal.
Hello everybody, I'm Lewis.
Tonight we continue our investigation into the bizarre disappearance of baby Christopher Abeyta. He was only 7 months old when he went missing.
That's right, Crystal. Christopher went missing back on July 15th of 1986 from his Colorado Springs home.
Now there were a couple of things that were out of the ordinary the night that Christopher vanished.
The biggest one was that his dad had slept in the Colorado Springs home, but before that, for months, he was staying in Pueblo, Colorado.
And that was because he was involved in some type of an affair. Now, we knew the secretary knew that he was staying with the family that night.
When we also learned that someone else might have known that he was not headed back to Pueblo.
Now, we are going to explain why that's important to this investigation tonight. We're also going to take you back to the scene of the crime. Here's part 2.
In the silence, deep resounding violence of two hearts beating for each other.
Denise and her family have believed for years that they know who took Christopher.
Yes. And they have been very vocal about it. And what do you think that motive is?
I think the motive was revenge.
Okay, so we made it to Springs. It took about, as Denise said, about 40 minutes, a little over 40 minutes to get here. And this was the route that Gil would take because he did work in Pueblo. He actually was staying in Pueblo at that time. But the night that Christopher disappeared was the first night that his father stayed at the home.
Right. They had gone through this separation, right? As Denise said, even though Gil was gone, he would still come around.
Right.
Yet during that time where he was, not at the house, he was building or continuing a relationship with Emma.
Right.
For whatever reason, he came back and he spent that night. And that is the night that Christopher disappeared.
Like, what happened that night? Why that night? Why was Christopher kidnapped that night? When he came over, he had not planned on spending the night. My dad called his secretary in Pueblo and asked if he had any meetings in the morning. And he had a brief conversation with her. Her name was Angie. And the reason he called her was because he was decided, I'm going to spend the night in Springs. And it was later in the evening he called her, probably 9-ish.
Okay.
I have the telephone record. And so my theory is who was in our circle, the time frame in that time. Christopher was too little to have friends and to have a circle, so you're going to have to look at who we knew, his family.
Okay, so we made it to Springs. It took about a little over 40 minutes to get here. So if somebody were to be in Pueblo and then travel to Springs to potentially abduct a child and then to make it back by 5 a.m.,
Yes.
it is possible.
Absolutely. Because we've narrowed it down from right around midnight to 5:30 in the morning or so.
Right.
If you take those 2 hours for travel time, now we're left with 3.5 hours. That's a long time.
That is a long time. We're looking for, what's the name of their Asheville?
Ashwood.
Ashwood.
Ashwood. That's it right there.
Okay.
Oh, there's somebody in the front yard.
There is somebody in the front
Should we go
yard.
talk to him?
Sure. So this is the home where Christopher Abeyta disappeared from.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also the home that, according to Denise, Emma ended up at the front door.
Yes.
At least one time.
That's right. There's appears to be a property owner at the front. Let's go talk to him. See.
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's go. We are looking into the Christopher Abeyta case. How long have you lived here?
20 years last September.
Do you mind if we go inside the home? Do you mind if we go inside the home?
I don't mind at all.
Okay, let's go. Is it okay if we take one camera in? But we just won't get your face. Is that okay?
It's all right. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Nice. You want to get up and
Yeah.
I'll spend some time here.
Yes, sir. Let's go in. He's going to take us inside the home. Maybe he could show us where Christopher was the night that he disappeared. Want to just do it here? I know when we met you out on the driveway that we asked you if you're familiar with what had happened in this home before you purchased it.
Yes, ma'am.
With the disappearance of Christopher Abeyta.
I know a lot. I worked in a courthouse and a jail for 30 years, and I know a lot of cops. And when they found out 3311, they said, "Hey, we've been there in 1986," but they claim to have known who the
Person of interest?
perpetrator.
Yes.
And one of the theories we had was the old man, who I'll refer to as Christopher's father, had some kind of deal going with a lady in Castle Rock. Have you heard on this side?
have
okay,
heard that
well, I don't
story.
need to repeat that then.
No, please tell us. What
Well,
you heard.
I don't know anything other than innuendo. the story was that he broke it off and it pissed her off, and so she snatched the kid.
What do you think, just knowing that a little boy was abducted, went missing from this home?
Well, I'm a cynic in my 84 years, and I think anything's possible, and nothing surprises me. The girl said that the door was unlocked because they were teeny boppers, and the front door was unlocked, and I don't know what else transpired in here. I don't know anything that transpired. But they said that somebody came in and got the baby from the mother and father's bedroom, which is where we sleep now.
Would you mind showing us where Christopher was, that you know?
I don't know where he was. I show you the room he was
Yeah, could you?
in. You make sure your feet are clean, because the queen just had the carpets cleaned.
Yes, sir. We can do that. So here's the front door, and they would have had to walk up here.
Somewhere in here, I don't know.
This is where the crib was.
Here?
The crib was right here. Bedroom, bedroom, bedroom.
And one of these were Denise's bedrooms.
Denise.
So it would take 10 seconds to get up here now. What? About 15 maybe?
At that?
With the front door open.
That would be a quick few steps to get right here. They'd have to walk right back out here and down the steps. 20 steps.
20 steps from the front door to...
Open that up if you need to.
20 steps from
their door. Wow, he knew everything about the case.
He did?
What I thought was the most interesting about this entire encounter with him was that he allowed us to walk the steps of the person who could have potentially taken Christopher Abeyta.
Yeah.
If that is the theory, and that's what happened, that somebody walked to that front door, up those steps, into the bedroom where Christopher was, you counted 20 steps?
20 steps. 20 steps from as soon as you walk into that bedroom where the crib was, 20 steps from there to the front door. It's not very far.
There are people we need to speak to.
Oh, absolutely.
As far as if Emma had anything to do with the disappearance of Christopher.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, Emma nor her family have really spoken to anybody.
No.
It's important that we give them the opportunity to say what they know happened the night that Christopher disappeared.
Yeah.
Was Emma there, or?
Before you answer that, let's digest the story that's been in the books for decades. And one of those stories is the alibi that she had about her brother being at the residence. Agreed?
There was a profile created on Facebook, the name Jay Crystal. And Jay started to post on Christopher's Facebook page. One of the posts the first post that they posted was something to the effect that Christopher, you should look at Christopher's mother.
she made a statement in the civil lawsuit stating that she was home
Yes.
with her son and with her brother, who was an adult.
Right.
The brother in the statement says he was there, but he went to bed around midnight, right?
Right.
But his bed was in the basement.
Yes.
And both of them saying that she woke him up, that she was his alarm clock.
Well, thank you for talking with us.
Well, not a problem. You know, like I say, I ain't got nothing to hide.
So, Mr. Manzanares, we're just going to talk to you the same thing we just asked you inside. Just how long has it been since you heard about Christopher's case?
20, 30 years, anyway.
A long time.
A long time.
Did you testify in court when
Yeah.
you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the judge asked, took me and swore me in.
I take you back to when he disappeared. I don't know if you remember, but you mentioned when we were just talking to you a moment ago that you were staying at the house that she was at too?
Yeah, she lived in I don't remember if it was a fourplex or a duplex.
And do you remember if you were living in the house with her, in the basement? Where was your bedroom?
I don't think I had a bedroom.
Like, what happened that night? Why that night? Why was Christopher kidnapped that night? The night of Christopher's disappearance, based off of the investigative information, that woman called my dad's house where my brother was living. She spoke with my brother on the phone, and up until midnight, asking where my dad was.
And your testimony came from you. Nobody coached you. Nobody prepared you. You didn't have meetings before with anybody.
No.
There's no way a 7-month-old would walk out of that home.
Mm-mm.
Something happened to him, and somebody picked him up that night.
Yeah.
And it was law enforcement's job to go in there and to secure the location to make sure that they had the evidence they needed to find out who did it.
Can I help you? Yeah, my name is Luis Carlos. I am an investigator from New Mexico, and this is Crystal Gutierrez. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Well, what we're doing is we're actually looking for your mom, Emma. Is she around?
For the longest time, I was justice. It's about justice. And I think I told you, Crystal, that it is, but it's answers and peace for me right now. And it's a hard thing for me to swallow.
Because if that's what was in the transcripts and that's what was the testimony, then somebody lied.
And gave me your contact information to reach out to you to get a copy of the interview that you conducted with Robert Manzanares.